first time in a long time, but it seems like just yesterday when we were side by side. Beast mode, no one's blocking our way. These other guys tried it, but them man ain't got the skills of Braden and Davie, brazen and raging, bringing you the thrills and spills. Right here in full gear, about to blow up like TNT. Us man are too sweet, Brady, DVP, the BDElite. Right here in full gear, about to blow up like TNT. Us man are too sweet, Brady, DVP, the BDElite.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Braden Herrington here with Davie Portman for BDElite. We are on whatever podcast app you found us on, and we are also live
on twitch.tv/upnextpodcast and youtube.com/upnext. Hello, Twitch and YouTube room. How we doing?
Yes, welcome. It is Wednesday night. We watched Dynamite. We're going to talk all about it. We're still in an Airbnb, so hopefully the Wi-Fi lasts.
Yeah, and I just realized before anything goes wrong, I'm going to let you vamp so I can actually plug my computer in.
Good idea. Yeah, make sure it doesn't die during this broadcast. Yeah, we're not at the BDE Towers. We're actually at an Airbnb because there's some renovations on our apartment. So we've had a lot of bad luck in the past little while. We just came back from New York, and everything just seems to not go our way. But you know what? We watched Dynamite tonight, and we still have each other. And that's what matters.
We'll always have each other.
It's true.
We won't always have this show, though, because
no.
As we said yesterday, we've announced the rebrand, which is going to sort of start coming into effect next month in December. Which means we're gonna continue talking about AEW, but this BDElite show on a Wednesday is, at least for now, not going to be a thing.
It will cease to exist. Pour one out.
So next week, not only will we be celebrating St. Andrew's Day, but we'll be pouring one out. It will be the season finale of BDElite.
Series finale.
Or series finale.
I mean, yeah, we'll still talk about Dynamite. We'll still be doing stuff about it, but doing Wednesday night reviews for it every week we'll be stopping. So yeah, pour one out for this show, BDElite. But we'll still be the BDElite to all our people. We'll still be the BDE, even if you're getting hit with that poison Rana. But yeah, the changes coming to this podcast. We're going to be doing a show that's more like a bit of an everything show, kind of like this show already is, just maybe less review format of Dynamite, but definitely discussing Dynamite every week, discussing all the topics, pretty much what we do anyways. So it really isn't going to be changing. We're hoping to have a bunch of other podcasts on our feed as well, as including some new shows that we can't wait to share with you in the future, as well as maybe more interviews and stuff. But as always, our DMs are always open for any feedback, support, all that stuff. We've gotten a lot of messages past few days saying, hey, the frog looks amazing, can't wait. So thank you, people, and check out the stuff that we have coming in stores, because this show, BDElite, will be gone forever. What do we do with the theme? Is my favorite theme we have. We got to keep it somehow, some way. For I don't know.
We'll use it.
Yeah,
I mean,
somehow.
I think occasionally we'll do, like, if there's a big Dynamite, like say a Grand Slam or
pay-per-view.
Maybe Winter is Coming or something like that.
Sure.
Perhaps we'll whip out a live post review. But it's not something we want to do every week moving forward. We want to kind of focus on this new show, and where we're talking more about other things. But don't worry, we'll be dedicating a lot of time to AEW still.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That's the reason we're kind of branching out with our own name, just because too many people think we're just covering NXT. So, and we'll never stop. Up next, we'll always go on. But yeah, some changes coming and some great podcasts and content that we're going to keep creating for you fine people who listen and support us. We can't do this without you. And a fine way to sneak in the plugs of patreon.com/upnext. $5 a month for North American tier, where you get access to almost like 500 podcasts. There's retro NXT reviews, pay-per-view reviews, movie reviews. This week we're doing a War Games throwback of Fall Brawl 97, 25 years ago, chatting all about NWO versus the WCW Horseman, if I guess you could call it that in some way, shape, or form. For those who know, it's the Buff Bagwell version of NWO.
It's officially the NWO versus the Four Horsemen, but it's not necessarily what you expect it to be.
So that's a review coming out this weekend. And then World Champ patrons are our super fans. Brent Nichols, who's our resident cowboy up in Calgary area, he picks a lot of some old school Canadian Stampede wrestling, but he's picked a Western, a 1993 movie called Tombstone with a stacked cast. So that's a movie review coming up.
Russell, Val Kilmer, Sam Elliott.
Yeah, based on a true story.
Yeah.
And then we dig into Kevin Costner apparently leaving that movie and then starting his own.
Well, don't spoil. You just...
No, but it's pretty interesting. We dive into that, and we get into some cool trivia about that movie. And it was a pretty fun movie. I've never seen it before. So, but all that and everything else out there on the Patreon.
Don't worry, if you want to sign up now to the Patreon, it's the kind of name change and everything next month. That won't affect anything.
Nothing's changing.
It's just it'll just be a new handle. But as far as your account goes, it'll just transfer over.
Yeah, or maybe you're not already subscribing. You should hit that subscribe on whatever app you're using and stuff. But yeah, so we had a long week. We were in New York for the whole post-wrestling 5-year anniversary. We gave out our shout-outs yesterday because we had a hell of a time meeting all the, not even just the post-wrestling multiverse of podcast hosts, but all the different listeners and people from all over. So it was super special and had a whole grand time. But then we also watched the pay-per-view Full Gear. After the show, we hung out. We went to some bar, whiskey something.
American whiskey
in New Jersey. I was so excited. I kept asking where was Tony Soprano's house. But we had some drinks. We hung out with some friends, and then we lucked out because we all bought tickets right before the 0 hour kicked off. And then we basically all realized that Jordan and Way were sitting alone. And there were some empty seats, so then we all weaseled our way into...
Where we were all sat, we kind of worked out each other's sections.
We could see each other.
And we're like, oh, there you are. And there were a lot of seats by Way and Jordan, so moved around.
Yeah, so we had a huge group of us and then just watched the pay-per-view. And I had a fantastic time. Maybe because I was sitting with so many of our... Which I'm not used to. We took a row essentially, 2 almost. So it felt great to sit with a big group.
It was interesting because we started off sat together in a section basically right opposite the hard can.
Yeah.
So we had great seats for that cage match that opened. But we both sat there before it started. We watched the Eddie Kingston, Junior Akiyama match, which was super fun. But we kind of said, I'm not feeling too hyped, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to enjoy it. But I'm not in the real mood to kind of be cheering and screaming and, like I've been hyped for other AEW or WWE shows I've been to in the past. And then when we moved... And the match is I thought by the end of that cage match, I thought that was excellent. And then by the time you're getting the Elite and the Death Triangle, the trios match come, we're like, all right, well, I'm not going to react to this.
Yeah.
And was getting more and more hyped as the day went on, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And then the fact that we had all of us together, it wasn't just you and me, because we watch a lot of wrestling together, but being able to sit with everyone, it made it really enjoyable. And I thought it was a great show. I wasn't too interested going in. I thought they will pull off something good, but it won me over because I wasn't feeling well and I wasn't feeling particularly hyped about the show. And by the end, I thought a really, really strong pay-per-view. Yeah,
I thought so too. I rewatched the trios match just today during the day, just because I kind of wanted to see it, and it was amazing. Still, this was an awesome pay-per-view. This is the first AEW pay-per-view I've been to, not counting Grand Slam because it was TV, and All In doesn't really count either, but. It felt good. It felt like it was packed. It had people going loud and screaming and doing all sorts of stuff. It's like what they really needed. And I mean, to kind of bounce off, that cage match starting off the show was really good.
It was really, we got to see both their matches. Yeah. We saw the one in Toronto.
That's right.
I think both matches were ones going in. I'm like, I'm looking forward to it, but not overly hyped. And I thought the Toronto one really delivered, and this really did as well.
Yeah, and then the trios match. I mean, the Elite, I'm always a sucker for the Bucks and Kenny. They're my favorites. And the theme music, the entrance, the way they looked.
We kind of thought that song was going to be part of it, and we were playing it the week before.
Oh, I've been playing it all
song.
week now. Yeah. See, you said you know it from Supernatural, and I know it from Anchorman.
Yeah.
And then old music heads are like, yeah, I know it because it used to be a banger.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we know, but it's funny because the Bucks mentioned like their dad showing it, them using it in their Fed as a kid.
Yeah.
And then Kenny's like, yeah, I love Supernatural. So it all kind of comes together of why they just really love that song.
No, great song. Awesome match. I mean, that was my match of the night.
Yeah, me too. I mean, not like knocking a lot of the other stuff. I really enjoyed Jamie Hayter and Tony Storm. Now knowing that Jamie Hayter's not the interim champion after tonight's episode, but that match, I would say like I knew the history. We've watched a lot of them like outside of WWE and the whole story of them roommates and stuff. But then I thought the match just kept getting better and better. It just kept growing and getting.
It was a really interesting match. I mean, the crowd was obviously with the elite match and all the Punk stuff. It was a hot crowd and a very vocal crowd and not afraid to share their opinion. But what I found interesting with this match is Jamie Hayter has been getting this natural like connection with the crowd and this buzz, but poor Tony Storm, who is just a babyface, she's been a good fighting champion, and Jamie Hayter, like, she was just cheated every single way possible, and this crowd don't care. They're still behind her. It still felt like a babyface win. It was just a really interesting atmosphere to be in. It's like I've never known to just everyone, like Tony's done nothing wrong.
Same with MJF in the main event.
Right? MJF, at least in that, it was him playing babyface.
Right.
Whereas Jamie was like using interference from Rebel, using interference from Britt, using the title.
Didn't matter. We liked it.
Like all that, we're like, nah, we just want to see you win.
That match was awesome. Really I think that was the loudest reaction of the night, was her finally winning that, because the place felt like it was going off the whole roof.
I felt there was a bit of a it was around the point where the crowd was starting to get a little tired.
Yeah.
And I thought they were tired during the beginning of the match. There was also MJF's mum in the beginning of this match was in our section, and there was a big like chant for her, well, for MJF, and you're just like, like it's funny, but I also feel bad for the match going on now. And then it wasn't until like halfway through the match people were like, oh, this is actually pretty good.
Yeah, and
getting into
the crowd, they won the crowd.
It woke them up as well.
Yeah, and you know, we're famous now because everyone loved our dancing.
Yeah.
We love Jamie Hayter's themes. I mean, we love Jamie Hayter. She's awesome, and we are so over the moon that she won. But when her music hit for her entrance, me and you got up. I don't know if it was a mixture of the gummy hitting right then and there, or those coquitos from Brandon from New Jersey that we had before the show. Those definitely hit. We were just dancing.
It's just a great song as well.
I don't even
just keep it on loop.
Yeah,
all day.
We started dancing, and our friends filmed us with like 30 different angles. People in the crowd were losing it. And then Jamie won, and then we got up and danced again. Not only because she won, but we got to hear the theme again.
That was the real thing. Like her winning, we got to hear that theme.
Yeah, so we danced, and then our friends put it up, so I reshared it on like my Instagram and Twitter. And then a few hours later, I got a DM from Jamie Hayter replying with the laughing face of crying emoji. She loves us. She saw the videos of us dancing, and she knows we're there to support her. So you can call us haters, because damn right we are.
Yeah, that was great fun. And yeah, what a song. What a song.
Love that song. I downloaded it. It's on my Spotify.
Main event I enjoyed. I think I found it fun, and I thought it was a great crowd to kind of go along with the story. They were playing. I think by the time MJF was coming out at the beginning of the match, he was playing up the babyface so strong, so hammy.
Yeah.
We all knew a turn was coming. We all knew he was just playing us. But I think the crowd had fun with playing along, had fun with booing Mox and fuck you Mox and all those sort of chants.
Yeah.
By the end, after the kind of feed stopped and we're still there, everyone's going thank you Mox and praising him. But it was almost pantomime.
Yeah.
You know, we were playing along with who is the villain and who is the good guy here. My criticisms with the match is I thought they had Mox like beat up MJF almost too much at the beginning. You know, like we've seen MJF, I think he's really proved that he can wrestle. I thought his matches with Punk were great. I loved his match with Davie last year. but I think he could have got a bit more in because he really just had and it should have been like Mox beating him up and him using the ring. I just thought we could have had a more entertaining match before the moment.
Right.
But I was sports entertained, if that makes sense.
I still really enjoyed the match. I definitely, I will give AEW credit. It felt like they moved this pay-per-view along way faster than they have in the past. And still giving people time. But it's still a lot of wrestling. So I still was tired. And I found myself, maybe those edibles still kicking in, but I found myself like, all right, this main event, I gotta get hyped. And as soon as their music hit, I was back in it. But I still really enjoyed the match. And I think it was definitely a way more bigger moment for him. The Regal thing and then winning there, it felt very special. And we've been following this guy for a few years now, and he's been killing it and becoming transcending to a really big star just in the world of wrestling, not even AEW, considering the week he's had now, calling out UFC fighters to now getting Conor McGregor's attention today he's on a movie set. While he's on a movie set, they made the right choice making them the guy. Not disrespecting the other three, but don't call him a member of the Four Pillars. He's the pillar, I think. He became the homegrown...
he's the one that broke.
Exactly.
Really has broken.
Really, the crowning moment for him there. And can't wait to kind of see where we go in this, kind of new direction. Other stuff on the show, the tag match was good. There was that stupid, sort of a fight kind of near us that we watched. That was really lame.
It went way too long.
Yeah, I hate that.
Unfortunately... just took everyone's attention.
Yeah, I really hated that. The 4-way was cool with Jericho and those guys, but I still was like, why is this the match?
It was good. It was a really good match, I thought. And I got into, once the two teams started breaking down against themselves, I thought it really picked up.
It definitely picked up.
But yeah, there was a better use of all those people. And I'm still baffled as to what's happening with Garcia.
Yeah. Samoa Joe winning was kind of like a shocker, but something that needed to do to kind of spice all of those storylines up as well. We finally got to see Jeff Jarrett wrestle live. The goal has been broke.
That was fun. Did it.
Yeah.
Got to see Sting jump off.
We knew Sting was going to jump off something. He did, so that was pretty cool as well. Saraya and Britt Baker didn't really hit for me. The kind of storyline going into it, I think, was just a little all backwards. But maybe she'll be able to turn around. I don't think she looked bad.
I thought the match was fine.
Yeah.
And I almost think if the story going into it was better, I think I'd have been a bit more forgiving with the match, because I thought the match was completely passable. I thought Saraya looked good.
Yeah.
It wasn't a blowaway match, but I think the moment should have meant more of her winning. This is her comeback match, and I think everyone was just confused with the story going in. Is this the story of the outsider coming into the company and taking on the staple of the company, and who is the star? Or is the story Saraya retired 5 years ago and she's been cleared and she's wrestling and this is her big comeback? It's obvious what the story should be at this stage.
It was weird.
And I think it was just bundled, which made the moment kind of not feel as good. But I'll be interested. No follow-up with her at all on tonight's show.
No Saraya on the show tonight. Yeah. And then Jade versus Nyla Rose, which was right after Death Triangle, and I needed to walk in the smoke after that. And then I bought the worst fucking hot dog I've ever had in my entire life, which serves me right. Never, just hot dogs suck.
Yeah, the food wasn't
the food in Jersey. Well. Yeah, I paid $11 American, which probably means it's $47 Canadian.
The tenders were all right. And you got quite a lot.
Always go with the tendies and fries. But the hot dog was in foil, so I couldn't see what it looked like.
Why are you getting a hot dog?
I know, it was my own fault. I know. Yeah, never doing that again.
Yeah, Jade and Nyla really I know why it's on the show. I like Jade a lot, but the match had a lot to be desired.
Yeah,
I thought.
But overall, a really fun show.
It's really interesting, the difference between a 4-hour pay-per-view and a 4-hour TV show. 4-hour pay-per-view, I think you get a couple of lulls, but you'll get a match that just wakes you right back up. I find the TV shows, because you've got the commercial breaks, you've got the dead time. Even in a match, you can tell when it's a commercial break in a match. Even in AEW, who tend to go out a bit more, you got way more kind of talking segments that bring you down a bit. Whereas a pay-per-view, it's big match, tiny break, transition, promo package, a cool entrance, another big match.
Right.
I felt like I was dead after Grand Slam, and I was way more energized after this, and I was ill like at the time, that's saying something. Like, I thought the pacing was great.
Yeah.
And I felt that with like All Out last year, but Grand Slam each time, once it's hit Rampage, I've been like, whew.
Yeah, we've been to a bunch of AEW shows this year, mostly Dynamites. This was my first pay-per-view, and I felt way more like into this than I have for some of the other shows. But they were all pay-per-view matches, so I know we were there live, but I'd say this is one of their good shows.
I thought it was, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. My match of the night was the trios, which I watched back today, and was still hit so good. So
yeah, trios for me too.
Yeah, but just a solid show, and had a lot of fun, and hanging out with so many different listeners and stuff, and was a blast, and I can't wait to do it again sometime.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We will.
Well, it's funny you say that, because I was looking at flights to Tokyo for January 4th, because Wrestle Kingdom 17 is now where everyone said, hey, New Japan's in the mud. Well, they're coming back, because I'd say one really big match, Kenny Omega challenging Will Ospreay, finally one-on-one. It's happening, and this is pretty big news.
Didn't we talk about this yesterday?
We said we would talk about it on this show.
Oh, we talked about it, did we not?
No, we said we were going to discuss it on this show. So,
okay.
Are you excited for this match?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, no, I thought we talked about this and Kyrie and stuff.
Well, we said that they've been announced,
no?
but I mean, did you watch the promo from Kenny? Yeah. Speaking in Japanese and calling him out. I thought Will Ospreay did a good job on Twitter, because in the promo, when he finally switches to English, he says to Will, I'm going to come back and save New Japan. This company needs to be saved. And Will's like, bro, you should probably focus on saving your own company right now, which I thought was funny. I think this match finally happening is super exciting, but the rest of the card is pretty stacked. Maybe we did talk about this yesterday, but I know that looking today from some of the Dynamite episode, I'm wondering if we see other AEW stars pop up. I know, obviously, we're not getting Danielson, which a lot of people would want, but...
Yeah, it is on... I think we'll see... I mean, FTR are going to be on it, and Kenny. I don't know about anyone else. I don't know how many they'll be willing to, like, give up on a Wednesday.
I see FTR taking on Aussie Open as a rematch, I think. That would be sweet.
But the fact that there's always a chance for... the Bucks to be there as well, I guess.
The Bucks, Jericho.
They're not doing a match 7 that night, are
right,
they?
yeah. So I feel like that... Yeah, true. It gives... Like, the Bucks are not... Kenny's already not there. Yeah. So you could do...
So unless you do a tag on Dynamite with Bucks, I can see them resting the Bucks that way.
Okay, FTR, Bucks, Aussie Open.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
That sounds wild.
Yeah.
Please do it. Don't fucking add the Torture House people, whatever their name is. God damn it. Yeah, this is crazy. We're gonna have Kyrie, who's now the IWGP Women's Champ, versus Tam Nakano, which is also crazy that's happening. This card could potentially be a killer. I'm excited now.
Yeah, it's way more excited I've been.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna stay. I think it's a Wednesday morning our time if we're Eastern. Or no, we're not Eastern time. Yeah. Are we Eastern time?
We're Eastern time.
Oh man. Yeah. So that means it's really early in the morning, but I'm gonna be doing it. Dickie in the chat says Naito and Sonata will probably be added to that 4-way match. Naito doesn't have a match.
God.
Your favorite. We need Naito on.
Good. And wear his shirt back.
Oh man, I'm remembering Master Wato's on the card too. He better impress. I think
he can wrestle. It's just a dumb gimmick. He's in the 4-way, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that.
Ishimori, Takahashi, Despy, and
yeah, that should be good. That
should be pretty good. Yeah. I'm wondering if we get Shibata or Ishii, that like who we saw tonight, kind of be represented.
I don't think Shibata's wrestling.
What about Shingo? Shingo. He's not on the card yet.
Yeah,
either.
what's he doing right now?
Exactly. Need to fight Shingo Jericho.
Sure.
Book it. But yeah, I'm super excited. I mean, I think Ospreay Kenny will just blow people's minds of what they can do, and I'm sure that it won't just be a one-time affair. But I'm super excited for that, and definitely bringing in some people. A friend of ours messaged me the other day. Was like, "I'm looking at flights. Is it cold there?" I'm like, "You're asking if it's cold in January? Yes, it will be. It will be cold there." It's like, all right. I'm not doing it.
Sorry,
for this, like this has people instantly going, "Ooh, should this be the time I do it?" Like if they announced this last 2 months ago, people.
I can't.
No, but like people definitely, I think, would make up a mind to travel for this match.
Yeah, I think it is too late. I think you knew about the Jericho one way before this.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Oh no, I mean, what month are we on? Yeah, it's pretty.
It was around this time when Jericho attacked Kenny. It feels like the same thing, like this big, like, oh, hasn't happened yet, big dream match. So, does Kenny come out to his old team?
I can see them doing it again in
AEW.
in North America.
Yeah, for sure. I think so.
Kenny coming out to his old theme?
I think his new theme.
I think
he's
new
owned
theme's better.
Yeah, he's owned up to this new one. That's exciting. I'm trying to think of anything else. We got War Games coming up this weekend. We kind of talked about that. So yeah, it's all elite, baby.
Yeah,
it's all elite wrestling. There's a lot to talk about off this show. I would say.
Yeah, the beginning seems a day ago. Like, well, let's go to it. AEW November 23rd, 2022. They're live in Chicago, Illinois.
Again?
Was it real? Which venue were they at this week?
Oh, true. Was it Chicago, like Michael Jordan Chicago, or is it like 3 hours away Chicago in the suburbs?
It's not 3 hours.
Okay, 30 minutes.
I don't think it was Hoffman, but yeah. I don't know. Who cares? They're in Chicago again. And it's a hot Chicago crowd tonight. William Regal starts the show and he says, "Do you want to hear from your new world champion, Mr. Friedman? Well, you will next week." Mr. Friedman doesn't have time to go to places like, oh, where are we again? Oh, Chicago. And everyone's booing him.
Boo.
He's on the set of a major movie and people asking why. Why did you do it? What happened? Well, I sent an email to Mr. Friedman a week ago. And, well, I'm not telling you what that email said. Mr. Friedman will be saying that next week. And next week, your new champion will be here. Then Bryan Danielson comes out. But, like, this first... I found this really jarring, hearing... We've seen Regal as a heel before, but for years now, because he's pretty much taken his, like, NXT general manager job, and then his set character is much the same in AEW. I found it quite a 180.
Yeah, I love... I mean, we all love how he has, like, the pet names for people, like Man in the Mask and stuff, but Mr. Friedman, love the little, like... not just saying MJF or Max, like, Mr. Friedman. So he's aligned himself with him. It's very, like... It's very old school wrestling, because it's like, this champion already is a talker, but now he's such a big star that he's not even here, that his manager...
On his first night.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it definitely old school vibes here. Ric Flair vibes. Regal being the villain that we all know and love here works really well.
Yeah,
it's weird because the crowd just loves this because it's like shaking and stirring the pot, but you're supposed to be hating him. Yeah. So we're like, all right, I'm hating you, but you're doing a good job at it. But I'm hating you. It's really fun to hate you. And then Mox coming out, you'd figure this guy wants to rip his head off.
Yeah, Mox, and he looks like that. Mox comes out, he's bright red, he's raging, he looks like he's going to kill this guy. And just as he's about to get face to face with Regal, Danielson runs out in his toque, and
no more Bullet Club. Sorry, BCC gear on anyone.
No more BCC gear. Rip. No more white T-shirt. This is winter Brian.
Pour one out for the BCC.
Yeah. That was something we saw like after the show finished last week at Full Gear.
Yeah,
Mox was still just like unconscious. And Danielson and Yuta came and like woke him up.
And he's like, what happened?
And he's like, what happened? And it's like, you lost. And he's like, fuck. And then you see them go like, oh, it was Regal. And he's like, what?
Yeah.
Regal? Motherfucker. Like, yeah. But
don't trust a man in maroon.
Danielson...
Burgundy.
Well, yeah, Mox was wearing that as well.
Yeah, he shouldn't have.
It didn't look good. Danielson gets between him and Regal and is like telling Mox to stop and says, yes, he did a bad thing, but you've done bad things before. We've all done bad things, but he's also got a bad neck. And he said to what on his brain? He was like, he's had surgery on his brain.
Yeah, just don't hit him.
Hit him. Like, he's old. Everything. He's had so many injuries and things. And Mox is like thinking about it, but he's like just shaking with rage. So Danielson slaps him to snap out of it, and then immediately is going, I'm sorry. Like, look, just he's getting on his knees. He's telling him to listen, Linda. Listen. He says, look, I don't care if they're booing out there. Like, listen to me. You know those struggles you've gone through. My dad went through those struggles too. And this is bigger than wrestling. When my dad had those struggles, I didn't understand. And there was one man who did, and it was that man, referencing Regal. And he's telling Mox to block out the crowd, listen to him. Because of this man, I was able to understand my dad's struggle. And I was able to love him because of this man, because of Regal.
I love this man.
He's saying, I love this man, and say, imagine someone teaching your daughter to love you in spite of your struggles. This crowd is chanting bullshit, and Brian just pleads, save him for me because I love this man. And Mox is pausing, he's holding the ropes, he's shaking, he's so red. He looks like he's going to kill someone. And Mox grabs the mic and indicates to Brian to get the fuck out of the ring.
He does say, get the fuck
out.
Luckily not into the mic.
And he goes nose to nose with Regal. He says, Lordship, I only want one thing from you. Simba, run. Run away.
That's the vibe I got, yeah.
Come back.
Never come back.
Run far, far away and never, ever come back. Right now, walk and keep on walking.
Get on, get out of here.
And Regal does that. He slowly walks away. Mox looks like he's gonna fucking cry or destroy something. And yeah, well, I love this. I thought this was awesome. I thought it made sense to me. It felt a bit less predictable wrestling stuff. We all know Danielson's history, Regal, and I get it. It's like, yeah, like that was shit, but like still, like it's almost like he's still my dad. Don't be up my dad. Yeah, that kind of thing.
I really liked it. I love all three involved here, especially when it comes to like the story and stuff. I think the BCC was getting pretty stale and wasn't working maybe the way
I agree.
they wanted to. So at least they can cut and move, which I'm like definitely. I love that it has me wondering what this kind of means. Does Mox disappear now? We all thought he's going on vacation, but here he is, like still here. Danielson not being a heel whatsoever, just basically being like, please don't. He begs. He gets
felt
on
like
his
a
knees.
real person. That's what I mean.
Yeah,
it's like it was almost like don't beat up my dad. No matter what he did. Like leave him, please.
Yeah. So like on one hand, I'm really intrigued on what they do. Like, does Regal disappear? Is this it? Does he ride off into the sunset?
I almost thought this was a write-off for Regal.
I mean, they need him
for a while.
Yeah, they need him back in the Fed for Saturday night. War games.
Yeah.
It's the write-off.
MJF doesn't need a mouthpiece.
No.
And I almost think this is it's an interesting one an interesting way to write off Regal. It's almost like he's been banished.
Right.
And he can come back at some point, but like if Mox is going to take his holiday, he's got shit to think about.
But now it kind of like at one point, like I was figuring he was just going to beat up Danielson in return. So it's like, do we go that avenue now? Is this groups, are they still boys? Is it the Blackpool thing doesn't make sense without the guy from Blackpool? So like it definitely adds like what's going on factor mixed in with like I don't understand, but I'm intrigued. So it definitely works because of the acting of Danielson. I think it's time they use him properly here as a bigger. I'm not saying book him against MJF right away. Obviously, that's a big match you need to go to.
Just big, interesting singles matches.
Yeah,
is what I want.
Yeah, go back to making him special. You want people to watch Rampage. Keep putting him on it with like big matches. I feel like the BCC stuff, Jericho, this whole year just felt like a sponge taking him away from like go away from that and wrestle other people. So seeing him here as that Brian Danielson, that was cool.
I got the sense this is putting like a little pause on this thing. I think we won't see Regal or Mox for a while.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Because I mean MJF will be focused with Ricky Starks now, at least until like December 14th. So yeah, I love this open. It was really good.
I'd book Danielson versus MJF at the next pay-per-view and MJF beats him. That's how I would book it.
Do that.
Yeah, for sure. Then you can bring Hangman back in the mix. Hopefully he's doing all right back home. Like, bring back some of the heavy hitters and book real feuds and stuff because they were doing a really good job of it last year. Like big singles feuds, I think they can do. They got the players for it.
Yeah. Keith Lee is asked where things stand between him and Swerve, and this is where Swerve shows up, and Keith Lee just looks at him. He's still pissed and says, "Choose your words wisely." So Swerve takes his hand and covers the camera, and you hear him say, "Let's talk without them." So they're going to have a private talk to discuss the future of their partnership.
I mean, Lee walked out on him, so wouldn't Swerve be like, all right, like I think
Lee had warned him, and
I think Swerve is going to beat him up,
you think he's
and then we're going to get a sweet feud between these two.
Yeah.
Just let's go, like pull the trigger on that. Let's go with these two because these two will definitely have it. I'm wondering where Rick Ross is. Where's Rick? Like, was that just a one-off?
He'll be back.
He was too good to not be doing this again.
He's not going to be a weekly character, but he can be on more, for sure.
Yeah. I'm interested in this because I do think these two will tear the house down if they get to mix it up.
Was Rick Ross the one holding the camera? You know, that's the big thing, because AEW, it's a Tony Khan thing. They always justify when there's a camera there. You know, it's Brandon behind it.
I think it was just the cameraman.
Who was holding the camera when...
I think it was just the cameraman. Because then he's like covers it and stuff. He's like, hold on. So he's acknowledging there's a cameraman. So.
I'm not talking today.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking when he cut the fingers off of...
Oh, Rick Ross? Are you snitching on Rick Ross?
That's been the question online. Who was holding the camera?
You're saying that Rick Ross could potentially be associated to a crime that took place. You might want to watch out. The people in Miami.
I didn't say anything. I'm just asking.
I mean, you did actually.
You said Rick Ross. I'm just asking who held the camera. People need to know.
I want to go to one of Rick Ross's wing stops.
Do it then.
Yeah, I want it like down south. The lemon pepper. It's good shit.
Lemon pepper.
It's his flavor. Yeah.
Okay. We go to the North American Championship. Orange Cassidy taking on Jake Hager. This is the Battle of the Hat. Orange takes his sunglasses off, so Jake Hager puts sunglasses on. Orange goes to take the glasses off with his right hand, and Jake swats it away. He goes for his left hand, Jake swats it away. Orange goes for his hat, and Jake really swaps it away. And then there's these lazy kicks from Orange. Hager fires up, goes for a clothesline, and Orange slams Jake's head against the turnbuckle, causing the purple bucket hat to come off. And now Orange is scared because Jake looks furious that this hat has come off. Orange sends Hager to the outside, and then Orange goes to put the hat on himself. And we can't be having this. So the JAS run into the ring, and now
they're furious.
Now Orange is like bullfighting with them, like they're charging for the hat, and he's lifting up. Oh! And then Rocky Romero pulls Jake off the apron. Jake punches Orange off the apron, and he trust falls onto the best friends. And then Orange hits like a springboard twisting senton onto JAS on the outside. Hits this huge Stun Dog Millionaire on Jake, which looked really nice. Followed by a satellite DDT. Goes for the Orange punch, but Hager catches it into an Enziguri. And then Jake puts the hat back on. Applies the ankle lock, but Orange breaks out. Hits the Orange punch, and then a Casadora roll through pin for the win. And Orange retains.
Yeah, classic Orange Cassidy retain here. Like, it felt like it was a lot of the comedy stuff, obviously with the hat and everything, but matches in obviously with Orange Cassidy's like vibe. It felt to me like kind of a stepping stone, like to where we're going. The fact that he just went, "Hey, you want to fight me?" That was his challenge. So it's like, all right, like it's just another easy like win for Orange here. The hat stuff isn't working. I felt like it was the fun thing when Garcia had his hat, the Kangol, and then everyone like, oh man, the Kangol, and that's like, all right, Jake, now you do it with your hat, and he's like, all right, watch, and then like, it's funny. It's a real like minor character. So
I find it quite funny.
He's pretty funny.
I feel like the whole thing has been Jake has gone into Tony Khan's office and he's like, I'm getting stale. I need something. Tony Khan's, I've got this purple bucket hat. He's like, all right, but what's the story behind the hat? He's like, okay, I'm gonna write like a 12-week story about Daniel Garcia, which is gonna lead to you getting this hat, and then we'll just forget about Daniel Garcia.
Yeah, he won't be on TV for.
This whole Daniel Garcia story has just been the origin story for Jake Hager's hat. Where is he? He was at ringside today.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, maybe they'll set up something between him and Garcia, but he was so bizarre. He was just another stooge, like. 2.0 here.
Yeah, really weird. Garcia was a highlight of the summer, and
100%.
And then was just left out to dry, not being involved in the pay-per-view when Sammy Guevara was instead. And then and then here it's not. Like, are we going to him versus Orange? He's already a champion.
Well, that's what I questioned during it, but then no indication of that.
Yeah, really weird. I didn't really get too into this match, but I got into the post match definitely.
Yes, the post match
because QT Marshall comes out.
That's right. QT Marshall then comes out and the factory with QT, and QT's speaking and he's like, well, you're willing to offer out challenges to anyone. Sounds like he's going to set up like a 5 versus 1 for the title or something. But then his mic gets cut off and then the lights go out. We hear some creepy music. A red light comes on and Julia Hart is back and she puts her hand in the air, poses, and the lights come back on and House of Black are in the ring. They beat up the Best Friends and then they take out the factory. Brody King takes out Camarado, which looked pretty cool, the two big men. And then people are just running out to try and get rid of House of Black, and they're just beating up all these jobber cops. And then hits the Dante's Inferno to some guy on the ramp.
That move is nuts, man.
It looks great.
Yeah.
It's the
Steiner screwdriver
thing. Malachi Black gets the mic and says, "Members of the House of Black, please rise." And the crowd stand up and the lights go out. So it looks like they're just back and they're going to war with everyone.
Yeah, I'm super okay with that. It got the crowd really hyped. It got my attention for sure, especially when QT's mic got cut out. It's such a running gag that everyone shits on QT, like Saraya. Yeah. Every week someone mentions or ribs him. But yeah, this is cool. Put them back in the mix. Obviously we got the best of 7 series trios title thing. I think keeping these guys away from that right now is fine until you go into the feud with Death Triangle and they're the ones to take it from them. I would imagine. Yeah. But then it's a shame because they could be such a hot act that you could spin off Malachi into a bigger role. But right now we have a heel world champ, so...
I think they should 100%, once the best of 7, whoever wins that thing, they should be the next challengers, for sure. And that can be a pay-per-view, the pay-per-view trios match.
Hell yeah. But yeah, cool to see these guys back. I'm glad that they're
Good
back.
to see them back.
Yeah.
Obviously, there was all that weirdness over the last few months with where did they ask for their release? Were they going?
Yeah, it was just
a break?
They were finally clicking and getting good reaction and working really well together and being a really hot act. And then the stop happened, so it was like, okay, cool. I'm happy that they're back for sure.
We get a video recap of the cage match with kind of Jungle Boy just talking over it, saying he's happy he won.
He's just really happy. He needs something else to do now.
And then we go to our Eliminator Tournament final. Ethan Page comes out with Stokely. Stokely introduces him, and then Ego cuts a promo saying Ricky will be crying after this match, and so will all of you lot, because you're all losers.
Yeah, he says everyone in Chicago's a crybaby.
Yeah. And we go to the match. It's Ricky Starks' ribs are all taped up because he had those back-to-back matches last week, and Ego's just targeting the ribs, and then starts winding him up by doing some jumping jacks, going basically, look, I'm 100% and you're all beaten up. Ricky then catches Ethan with a spear, and then Starks goes for a suicide dive, but Stokely pulls Ethan Page out the way, so Starks just eats shit here, lands right on the floor, and this makes Stokely get ejected by the referee. There's a superplex from Starks, followed by a swinging neckbreaker, and then a nice run up the rope tornado DDT, just spiking Page. Page then fires back up and launches he does this move. It's like the Devil Inside where you launch the guy up from the mat. He did this with both arms, launching him right onto his back into a power slam, which looked really nice.
Very nice.
Goes to the Ego's edge, but Starks rolls through for a pin count and then hits another spear, followed by a third spear for extra measure, and 1, 2, 3. Ricky Starks wins the Eliminator Tournament and will face MJF out Winter is Coming.
Yeah, I think the right move. I know that there was the storyline with Ethan Page and the Firm and MJF, but I'm kind of happy it's not going that way. I just find Ethan Page too similar to MJF that it would kind of clash with the heel versus heel.
Because this was meant to be on the pay-per-view.
Right.
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I think that I think if it was that, you'd go into this match more going, okay, well, if Page wins, maybe MJF is a babyface. Whereas if Starks wins, maybe he is actually with the Firm. But it was a foregone conclusion for me who was winning this one. But I still got into it. I thought it was a good match. I think it's going to be the problem with the actual Winter is Coming match because Ricky Starks isn't winning this thing.
Yeah, there's definitely... It doesn't feel like kind of the past ones, the past two, really, where they're really big challengers that you could buy that. Not disrespecting Ricky Starks. He's definitely on a great run. I'm so happy. He keeps impressing. I just don't... He's definitely not in that, like, territory yet of that.
But I'm hoping it will be, like...
A great match. Standout.
Like
breakout,
a
for
breakout
sure.
match, for sure. And can elevate him even in loss. But
Absolutely.
it is just like when you look at your previous years, it's like, okay, that's the one we're going for. But also we're moving into the future as well.
Hell yeah, the future.
We get a recap of Jade Cargill confronting Bow Wow and getting escorted out because Bow Wow keeps on like hitting her up.
What's going on
Twitter.
on AEW? Yeah, I mean this one I saw coming from a while back where they were tweeting at each other. And not that I follow Bow Wow on Twitter. I just want to make that really clear. But it shows, when she...
Yeah. It's all right. I keep on seeing Elon Musk and I don't follow him.
So Bow Wow and Jade have been talking shit. So she pulled up and there was a pull apart. And it looks as if it's all a work. And we're going to hopefully... There's only one way. Don't tease us with Bow Wow trying to fight Jade unless Bow Wow is gonna fight Jade and wipe the floor with him. So, yeah, I'm excited. That he was in Like Mike, right? I think that was the movie.
No
Do you even know who Bow Wow is?
He's this guy. He fancies Jade.
You don't know who Bow Wow is, do you?
Jade.
Have you heard of Bow Wow before this?
We have daft names, probably. Isn't there a little Bow Wow as well?
He is.
He's little Bow Wow.
Well, he's not little anymore.
Why? He got fat?
Well, he's old now, so he's not.
You can be little and old.
Yeah, but I feel like he made it a life choice to not be called Lil. You're right. I mean, your name was Lil, so.
Is Wayne still little?
Yeah, he's still Lil.
But isn't he old now?
Yeah. Bow Wow wishes he was in that tier, but Bow Wow. I didn't know Bow Wow was on. It's like his own tour. He's on tour with people. So
Bow Wow's touring.
I don't know if it's big venues, but hey, maybe it is. But yeah.
When's he coming here? Bow Wow tickets.
Millennial tour.
Is that the tour?
Yeah, Like Mike. Let's review Like Mike. Everyone will be happy.
Let's go to Santa Clarita.
Is that where he's gonna fight Jade?
He's gonna be at the Whiskey A Go Go in Hollywood.
That's a bar.
Oh, he's coming to New Jersey in May.
Nice. We could have hit him up.
Yeah, let's go to Frenchtown, New Jersey.
We're playing basket.
So yeah, Jade tried to fuck up Bow Wow and got
She would
escorted
eat
out.
him, bro.
Yeah.
I need to see this match now. I mean, I don't really need to, but like.
So she's then interviewed and she says, I don't want to talk about Bow Wow. Like he's nothing. Red Velvet is back.
Yeah.
She's back from her injury. And Mark Sterling comes out, still her lawyer, and has kind of made it official that there is officially no comment about Bow Wow. They all go to leave. And then as Kiera Hogan goes to leave, he says, no, hands her some papers. We no longer need your services as you didn't live up to expectations.
Whoa.
So Kiera's out and Velvet's back in.
Wow. The baddies are breaking apart.
So this has been something, if you listen to Shot in the Dark
yes,
every week,
on this feed.
has been kind of happening on Dark a bunch and sort of Rampage where Jade has like been mad at Kiera and has kind of kicked her out a few times, but now it's official.
Well,
She's done.
I think it was a pretty bad move because now she's gonna go hang out with Bow Wow and give Jade's secrets away.
Is that
It's got to be it.
Oh, I like that.
It's got to be it.
I like that a lot.
You can't actually have Bow Wow fight Jade, so now you have Bow Wow be in Kiera Hogan's corner.
So who would Jade have?
Jade.
Shaq? Is Shaq coming? Is Shaq coming back?
Bring back the Shaq. Yeah,
Shaq
maybe.
and Jade against Kiera Hogan and Bow Wow.
Wow, now you're excited. Yeah, that's great.
Did Shaq used to be Little Shaq?
Lil Shaq? I don't think Shaq ever was little. He came out his mama the size he is now.
I love the Shaq-a-roni. I'm sure we've talked about this before.
Macaroni?
No, the Shaq-a-roni, the pizza he advertised.
Oh, right. Yeah, right. Sorry.
It's just extra cheese, extra pepperoni, and I'm like, I get it.
Yeah,
I
smart
get
man.
it. Yeah. It's like, how do you like it? Just a lot of cheese, a lot of pepperoni. Yeah, Shaq-a-roni.
Icy hot. I don't know if we're getting the return of Shaq. I don't think Shaq's coming back, but...
Where did he go?
I mean, he's got a job. He's on TV a lot, but I don't know if Bow Wow is.
But he vanished, didn't he?
He did vanish. He literally disappeared from the... He had a Michael Myers moment. Yeah.
All right. So... Still,
AEW's wild. Where's Rick Ross again?
We go to match 2 in our best of 7 for the Trios Championship. Elite versus Death Triangle.
Sorry, Shaq literally disappeared.
That's what I'm saying.
That was a real thing. Yeah, that actually happened. I'm like, did that happen? That sounds ridiculous. And I'm like, no, wait, that did happen.
They got that angle.
Holy shit, sorry.
I think, was it shortly after Undertaker retired? It's like, okay, we'll give him this gimmick.
We were robbed of Shaq versus Big Show, and I'm never going to get over it.
Yeah, I got it in the Battle Royal in Dallas.
Yeah, it didn't count. Was Michael Shea in that one?
No, that's one. Diamond Dallas Page was.
We need Shaq versus Satnam Singh.
Yeah.
That's where we would go.
Oh, that was something I liked in that Jarrett match as well. Satnam just manhandling Davie.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's Elite versus Death Triangle match 2. The Elite are getting booed here right off the get-go.
Yeah.
There's loud CM Punk chants, fuck the Elite chants.
You know what? To be fair, we weren't there. We're watching here on TV like a lot of others. But I got the vibe that there was a lot of CM Punk chants. And then there was a lot of fuck CM Punk chants. And then I swear I heard we're conflicted chants. Like we can't decide what to chant for.
I almost got the... I got it more so anti-elite, but I also kind of got it as, again, pantomime. We're sort of playing along here. We're in Chicago. We're going to cheer for Punk. But, I think any other week, they'd be, cool with the elite. Is the feeling I got. It's like, oh, New Jersey was very fuck CM Punk, so let's be a pro CM Punk.
Of course, yeah.
They're Chicago. They're going to be.
I feel like next week it'll go back to being...
I think it's only going to be... I think elite... is going to be the more over thing in most of these matches. Probably,
because they're there, if they're actually there live, yeah, so it makes sense. It's very interesting. This match, very interesting, with not so much the match itself, which was still really good, obviously, with the 6 people in it, incredible athletes, but I think the talk is coming out of some of the stuff that happened in this match.
Automatically, we're saying, how do you make all these 7 matches feel different? And this one, right away, I can differentiate from match 1, because it was... Match 1 was the Elite's hometown advantage, almost this crowd. Match 2 was very
Death
Triangle hometown advantage.
Even though the Death Triangle
are the heels.
The heels, sort of, kind of, in this.
And then the Elite just playing with it.
Yeah.
The match on Saturday was I preferred, but I thought this was a lot of fun too. And I'm glad it wasn't just a repeat of what we saw on Saturday.
So I'm not sure if you saw, I know Observer posted it. I think it was with Sports Illustrated. I'm not sure. Kenny Omega did an interview today. It came out, and he made it clear that it's not the Elite versus CM Punk, and encourages fans to just let it go.
Just like wrestling.
And then I watched this match.
Yeah. I found it funny on commentary. I think it was Taz was explaining this is not every match is for the title. The winner of the series will win the title.
Sure.
And then Taz just goes off and he's like, because apparently we've got to spoon feed everything. Apparently that wasn't obvious. And clearly people were like, is every match for the title? Yeah, quite funny. Yes, because in the World Series you win the
World Series every night.
Every night you win it, yeah. Anyway, there's Kenny and Phoenix start the match, and Phoenix is still conflicted and torn about what he had to do last week. He's ashamed of himself. He doesn't want to cheat, and kind of offers his hand, apologizing as a bit of a truce. And Kenny nods and he's like, okay, then shakes his hand, hits him with a V trigger, and the Elite just start beating up Phoenix. There's a sky high from Kenny for a 2, and then a sling blade on the floor from Penta. Kenny starts to set up for the Terminator dive to just a sea of boos from this crowd. So he does the go to sleep sign with the sleepy hand sign.
Definitely ears perked up, eyes opened up for that.
Kenny then hits this kind of crazy... Phoenix hits this crazy corkscrew to the floor. There's a back elbow, and Pac checks his nose because Pac is wearing a protective face shield here
from last weekend,
from a broken nose. So he gets elbowed in the face and has to leave to kind of check his mask, allowing Matt Jackson to just PK him in the face, and then hits a beautiful, like the praying moonsault to the floor. Kenny then bites Pac on the arm, no less.
Right on screen.
Yeah. And then there's a snap German from Pac, and Penta comes in, just lets rip on everyone, hitting these tilt world backbreakers. The Elite then isolate Pac and rip off his mask, hitting a triple super kick to the face, followed by a Kenny Omega V-trigger, goes for the one-winged angel, but it gets blocked by Pac, and Kenny hits the go-to sleep.
Oh my goodness.
The GTS 1-2, Pac kicks out, and then Phoenix does his running the rope PK. There's a low blow from Matt Jackson, and as he gets out a hammer that Brandon Cutler hands him, he's going to use the hammer, but Penta comes up behind him, pulls out a hammer of his own, cracks Matt Jackson in the head, allowing Death Triangle to get the win and go 2-0 up.
Damn.
And after the match, you could see Phoenix is like, what, we cheated again? Come on, guys. Disappointed in you.
And then he's like, but we won though. Yeah. Another crazy match. I remember watching this as soon as the bell rang to end the match on Saturday. I turned to all of our group and we were all like agreeing we could watch this match every night. And well, they did, and they're going to do it 7 times. So was not bored instantly. Like you said, it felt like a different match because now the story is the Bucks were kind of slighted that the guys used the hammers. So now the dirty tactics are both sides because the Bucks and Kenny know how to do that. I think it's more
interesting as well going. I mean, when you see a proper like series,
yeah.
It's way more interesting when someone goes 2 or 3 down and everything is then to fight for.
Yeah.
If you just traded it, you win 1, I win 1, you win 1, I win 1, it gets a bit like predictable.
You could see them adding gimmicks to some of these, like a no DQ, street fight, ladder.
Like a tornado thing.
Oh, lucha rules. Yeah, exactly.
I'd like that. You could see the final being a ladder match for sure.
Yeah, that could be something pretty crazy. But another thing...
But also it doesn't need it. Like,
no,
I'd be interested in switching a gimmick up, but it also doesn't need it.
These 6 guys are amazing. Let them wrestle for a whole hour on the last one, honestly, and they'll still tear the fucking house down. Incredible. I said it before. I'm a huge Kenny and Bucks mark, but the Death Triangle guys are insane. Lucha Brothers, Penta is my fucking guy. They also brought up Penta showing up on Monday Night Football, which was everywhere on social media. Huge.
Yeah, I was at work and I just look up at the screen and we got the 49ers game
Couldn't
on.
avoid that, yeah.
That's Penta?
That's fucking awesome. That guy, Kittle, I think it was. Kettle, yeah, he's a huge Penta fan for years now. And like seeing that kind of rub for real, like NFL and AEW, that's so awesome to see. So that's great. Another thing that happened in this match, which got a huge laugh, I think it was during picture-in-picture, Matt Jackson went to do the buckshot, but like falls and lands on his ass and then like looks around like, ooh.
Brilliant.
So he's mocking CM Punk here. So you got the biting, you got the GTS pose, the GTS being hit, the buckshot, the fuck CM Punk stuff.
So
it's a work.
Is it a work?
It's a work, bro. We have our one friend, Big Tom. Shout out, Big Tom. He messages us every day and he's like, "It's a work. It's a work."
He made a compelling argument today, which was, fuck it. He knew he had to give up the title. He got injured again.
Yeah.
So
talk some
let's
shit.
do this thing.
I would hope that all this stuff about it. I just don't see how a fight and dog getting hurt and all that biting and stuff does anyone like real good. But I'm hoping that this either is the road to they've mended some fences and things. They realize we gonna make money, so we need to be on the same team here. And going forward, they still sell CM Punk merch. They took him off the video game cover, but like that's
they're selling new CM Punk merch.
They're selling new CM Punk stuff,
yeah.
Like Christmas, but Christmas stuff is just coming out, so that stuff was like made like a few months ago. So it's like, don't blame them for they still can make money off that name. Of course, they sold shirts at the pay-per-view as well, but like, is this meaning that we're going in that direction? That when he's eventually healed and all that, that he is still intact part of this company and will be going forward, or is this the Elite being the the jesters and the tricksters that
that's
they
the-
know.
they've done this stuff
I
all
know.
the
Look
time.
at their track record
But
for
also
years.
they do it with when they want to try and get something.
Of
Like
course.
think when FTR were in NXT
WWE.
and WWE, and they do all their stuff to like go
Yeah.
with them and things. Obviously, something like legit has happened between
Yeah.
these two, but I want to see Punk back. Like at the end of the day, and to be honest, even if it was a work, I don't care. I wasn't one of the journalists that reported it. It's been highly entertaining.
Yeah,
You know?
I
And it will be a new. You're trying new things to build something.
I don't think it's a work.
I don't think it's a work.
But the
But I
wrestling.
think you can turn something legit.
You need to turn it
a-
into something. Yeah.
into a
And
work.
hey, if it's not, then these guys are just geniuses. Like, why not? What do you gain from
At
this
least
everything?
in this town.
Yeah,
Like it makes
yeah.
sense. Especially they knew the reaction they were going to get.
Of course.
So why not play into it? Why
I think
not
they're
piss off this
smart.
crowd?
Yeah, I know
And
I'm
fuck Punk. The guy's already mad. The guy's already made his mind up. I can't make him more mad.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
I know I might be in the minority, but I loved this stuff. I thought it was rubbing the rhubarb the right way. Like, why not shake the tree? The tree's been shaken and broken and trying to be fixed, and now they're back, and these guys being back adds to AEW. Like, it instantly
Yeah.
feels full instantly again, and these guys doing their shtick, being clowns and fucking around, sending messages is the shit I like to see. And work or not work, which it's not, it's great. So it all ends with Punk returning to team with FTR to take on the Elite.
You could.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, that's the way you go when it goes that direction. But yeah, ridiculous stuff. Could see people not liking it, but it definitely got my
I
interest.
loved it,
Yeah,
yeah.
I loved it.
Renee Paquette comes out and says that due to the extent of Thunder Rosa's injuries and the length of time she's been out, she is officially relinquishing the title, and therefore Jamie Hayter is the new women's
Whoa.
champion. No more interim. It is later announced that also because of the length of time, retroactively, Toni Storm's reign will be known as women's champion, not interim.
And she's like, "Oh man, could have told me when I was."
Could we have not done this before?
Yeah. I'm happy that they did this. I could see people being like, "Oh, well, blah, blah, blah." I'm just happy we got rid of this interim thing for sure. So
I haven't minded the interim thing as much as other people. It's what you do in sports, but also like it has once it's got to a certain time. Yeah, absolutely, and move on. And I think it was the right move.
and they got like lightning in a bottle with Jamie Hayter right
Yeah.
now. So
So Jamie goes to speak, and Britt takes the mic and introduces Jamie as the new undisputed AEW Women's Champion. And we never even considered the term interim. Now let the champ go to the ring. So yeah, kind of Britt like hyped for her friend, but also like there are a lot of these things kind of teasing.
I like it. Yeah, it's
Jamie
good.
getting a bit. Okay,
Classic.
what are you doing?
I mean, it's the classic. We just saw Wardlow MJF. It's the classic Batista
Yeah.
Triple H. Like, no. Hold on. I'm the star. Let me
Yeah.
talk. Even though you're the champ. No. Hold on. Let me talk. I like the little things like that.
This leads to Jamie and Britt taking on Tay Mello and Anna Jay, Sky Blue and Willow Nightingale. So Sky Blue's already ditched Madison Rain.
Was that her partner?
Yeah, they were dressing the same and everything. It was weird.
Are you making stuff up again?
No, it was weird.
So Nightingale and Sky Blue are a team now.
Yeah,
TJAS.
Tay J.
That's their name.
Yep.
And Britt and
Jamie.
Jamie.
Jamie hits a double suplex to both Tay J. Willow comes in and just kind of runs shop, taking out everyone. There's a Casadora into a splash from Sky Blue, and Sky Blue almost pins Anna Jay, but Jamie saves her. Willow comes in with a great-looking Death Valley driver, and then there's a missed kick from Anna Jay. Like, just one of her, like, she twists the arm and does like a hook kick, but just was miles off. And Jamie came in to show her how it's done, just taking her
Pump
head
kicks.
off. And then Mello hit a really nice pump kick of her own to Jamie. Sky hits the code red, and then Britt breaks it up and hits the stomp on Sky Blue to pick up the win.
Yeah, a pretty fun match. It got going, and then I wanted it to keep going, and then it ended. I was like, oh, I was getting
The end
into it.
sequence got really good.
I felt like the first part of it was a little slow and it kind of awkward because TJAS feels kind of cold.
Yeah.
And they're bad guys, but then Britt and Jamie are fighting them too in this match. So I was a little confused. It felt like maybe
and
they
Sky and Willow just aren't at that
level
yet.
Yeah. But then as soon as it like hit this like mark, they were all hitting on great spots, and I'd say it still didn't do. The only gripe is like it didn't make Jamie kind of stand out because Britt got the pin, but that's another like trickle down of what's going on.
I think that was the main objective of this segment, because you then saw like Britt handing her the title and like that little. It was subtle. It wasn't over the top, but like they're definitely doing that. Story.
And when this happens, we'll all love it because that's just the classic story of wrestling: friends who break up and then they feud over the thing. And I can't wait for it. It'll be great.
But build it for Revolution. You need Jamie to have a couple of challenges.
Absolutely.
Who do you see for? I guess Winter is Coming. Like Jamie's next.
Yeah, I mean, I would go to a Willow Nightingale match eventually, just because I want to see that. I think Willow is someone that could be a great project down the line of being a pretty big star. I know she's still pretty young, but works really well. I'm trying to think though. For now,
You can also put her up against a heel, Jamie, right now. Like she could go against heels or baby faces.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Nyla Rose has to be the first Lady Kane, right? So you got to be the first challenger there.
I wonder Athena. They're doing this like more heelish gimmick with her.
Right. I forgot about her. Yeah, book that.
Perhaps.
Soraya has a gripe though. I just beat Britt, so I should get a shot kind of thing, but wouldn't give her the title necessarily. But yeah, I don't know. Who else would you book Jamie with? There's got to be some other big match. I'm kind of like, as Jamie's on a roll, and Tony being friends and all is like, would be happy for a friend, but it's almost like, oh man, Tony, you finally hit your like stride. You could
rematch that as well, because Tony was screwed out of it.
True. And then like the interim thing, like I imagine maybe rematch at Winter is Coming.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which would be pretty sweet. Yeah. And then we got to hear Jamie's. We didn't get to hear Jamie's music because Britt won it. Didn't get to dance today, guys.
We see FTR and Top Flight backstage, and Dax is basically bigging up Top Flight and says that I feel you're going to take over tag team wrestling one day. And Darius says like, well, you're an inspiration to us, but we want a dream match with you on Rampage, and you put those ROH titles on the line. So I think that's a pretty big match actually for Rampage. FTR versus Top Flight. That sounds great. Yeah,
those guys put on pretty good matches, and they do speak truth with the whole like they've hit a few bumps in the road with the brother being injured and stuff. So yeah, I'm interested in. I'll have to check this out.
Yeah. Still not getting any Dynamite matches, but
why can't these guys wrestle on this show again? It's because we have tag team champions.
Yeah,
and these guys are not. I don't know. Yeah,
the Acclaimed come out wearing their new merch. Get it in time for Christmas. Scissor me under the Christmas tree.
Dude,
love it.
Let them make please make all the money.
Yeah.
Make Acclaimed Band-Aids, Acclaimed everything.
I don't blame them. Like while they're hot, while they're over, every week put out a new shirt.
Get it. Because get the bag.
At some point the bubble might burst.
Exactly. So, get it, bro. Scissor all the way to the fucking bank, boys.
We learned that. You wrote down the rap here.
Oh yeah, it was kind of a soft rap actually. I know at the pay-per-view he had like double bars. It was a Hot 16, usually just does the 8. So here it was just him rapping about like the outcome of Full Gear, which he mentions like Jamie and MJF being new champs, and then mentions that he broke up, that the Acclaimed broke up Swerve and Keith Lee, and then anyone who steps in line to face us will get their nuts slapped like Jeff Jarrett did at the pay-per-view, which may come into play later.
So Billy Gunn, Daddy Ass, reveals that his fingers are healed. He's cleared. He's cleared to scissor.
Medically cleared.
Doc Samson cleared him, and he can scissor. And they go to scissor, but they're interrupted by the Satnam lads, Satnam, Jay Lethal, and Sanjay Dutt.
Jay Lethal loses on pay-per-view and still shows up on Dynamite, but FTR can't wrestle on Dynamite.
And they're telling them to keep their names out of their mouths. When I do like how Jarrett enters the shot every time, just walking in, pacing around.
The last outlaw.
Yeah, I'm not bored of Jarrett yet.
Not yet. I like how you say not yet. Yeah, because everybody's mad that he's still here.
He looks good in that cowboy
He looks
hat.
good. He looked good on Saturday. Let's not lie about things. Don't wind me up.
So don't wind me
That's
up.
it. That's his new one, right?
Yeah, don't wind
Here
me
he
up.
said slap Max.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
So basically tell them you better watch your backs because we hear. So
You better watch your butt, man.
Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett going for the tag titles.
Fuck it. Yeah. Why not? I'm all right with that.
Billy then gets on the screen, says, "Get that old ass off the screen," and says, "Yeah, I still got some pull here." So they do what I tell me. And now scissor me, daddy ass, and they all scissor as Taz is questioning how daddy ass scissors himself because he is daddy ass.
They said, did he just say that in third person? They're like, yeah, he did. So he said, scissor me, daddy ass, but he is in fact daddy ass.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was dying laughing at this.
Taz was on form tonight.
Taz was on one tonight.
Yeah. So I guess, I mean, is that what they're setting up?
Next week, let's go.
Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett?
I
against the
imagine,
Acclaimed?
yeah. Jeff Jarrett should be tag team champions with Jay Lethal.
Okay, let's do it.
Unfortunately for the Acclaimed.
I'm coming around on Satnam Singh.
He's
Like,
big.
I'm down for Satnam and Jarrett. Have a thing going on.
During his promo, the crowd were hot yelling, TNA sucks.
Yeah.
So, Billy was like kind of...
New Jersey loved TNA. They were big TNA.
Yeah, we were
fans.
chanting TNA.
We were just
we
chanting
weren't.
TNA.
We weren't, but the crowd were.
We were. Yeah, come on.
TNA.
We got into that.
I love me some TNA. I thought that the Chicago crowd were rude to TNA. Billy was right there. Billy was a big part of TNA. He was like goading them in, like laughing when they were doing it. But then it's like, Billy, come on, Kip Sop.
Kip Sup. Okay. What happened to Kip Sabian?
Kip Sabian.
Really had a whole year building up to his new gimmick and then lost to Pac and disappeared again.
What was it? Overrated and over it? Underrated and over it?
Shallow ego. No, that was Punk. I don't know.
Over it.
Over it.
Yeah.
All right, we go to the main event of the evening for the Ring of Honor title. Chris Jericho defending against Tomohiro Ishii. Commentary are talking about how they knew each other from Pro Wrestling War in Japan.
Wrestling and
WAR,
romance.
and how Jericho was in the juniors division and Ishii was kind of one of his young boys.
Yeah, which is nuts. I'm again two of my favorites here. Big Tom Ishii and Chris Jericho, and I liked how Saturday when Jericho mentioned this match was happening and mentioned that Ishii was his young boy and young lion. He got me a coffee and carried my bags, and I was like, yo, how what? Both of these guys are old. What are you talking about? So, but apparently it's true.
Ishii's got that Arn Anderson thing though, hasn't he? That he's always looked old.
Fair,
I think.
Yeah, maybe. Either way, I liked the fact that they went into like that history, just giving you don't even need to know these guys, but if you explain this, then it's like, oh, okay, cool. And Ian Riccaboni on commentary as well, kind of filling in the gaps there a little bit. But then Jericho starting off the match by flipping off the crowd and then flipping off Ishii and then like speaking to him in Japanese, but like speaking down on him as if like senpai or whatever.
Senpai, yeah.
Oh man, I kind of like, again, big Ishii fan, so I was like, all right, Ishii, slap this dude right now, and that's what he did.
And they got right into a slap exchange that went on for a while. Ishii kicks him in the back. They go through chops, and then during the commercial break, it's just a chop exchange for the whole 3-minute break.
Is this one of the, like, I know there was that one picture-in-picture where there's like destroyers through tables and shit, but this has got to be up there for one of the best.
This is definitely a Jericho idea.
Yeah.
Because Jericho did the commercial break where he held the Walls of Jericho for the whole break. And this was definitely a thing. He knew going into a match with Ishii, you're going to do the chop thing. It's an Ishii thing.
Well, this
let's
is
do
crazy.
It for the whole break. And then you're seeing in the little box Jericho's chest getting redder. And then we're going, is he bleeding?
When it comes back, his chest is dog meat. It is literally, he's been chopped so hard that his chest has ripped open in parts.
And just
like
blood is pouring down. Crazy.
This was disgusting and metal and hard and sick as fuck.
And then it cut to Ishii, and it reminds me, you see it in a lot of films, but like in Shaun of the Dead, when they're using the cricket bat and they're beating that, and you're just seeing the blood keep splattering on them.
Yeah.
This was Ishii here, because it cuts to him, and he's got these like flecks of blood.
His hand was covered in Jericho's blood.
His hand was huge and just covered in blood. Nuts. Jericho gets Ishii down with a clothesline, goes for his springboard drop kick, but gets elbowed in the head. And then Jericho hits a DDT to Ishii on the apron, which looked nuts. They're then trading.
Oh yeah, sorry. This was crazy. They replayed this. I thought Ishii died.
Yeah.
Landed on his head.
They're then trading German suplexes in the room, in the ring. Jericho hits a third one, and Ishii just collapses after. I thought this was a really nice setup for the line salt, actually, because they did it, and Ishii's going to go and just falls. So Jericho looks and it's like, oh, you're there, perfect. Hits the line salt, but Ishii kicks out on one, and which is always a great spot.
One of Ishii's proper spots, yeah.
And the crowd erupt at this point. There's a code breaker, and then Ishii just kicks out. Jericho goes for the Judas effect, but Ishii blocks it and just hits this running lariat, followed by the sliding lariat, but Jericho kicks out. Jericho then goes to the walls, and Ishii bridges up on his neck to get out of it, and then hits essentially a code breaker himself.
Yeah, Ishii taking a page out of Jericho's book with a pretty nice looking code breaker here. This looked awesome.
Flying code breaker.
It was an Ishii breaker.
And then a lariat, and Jericho kicks out. Ishii now goes for his boxing elbows and goes for his jumping enziguri, but this gets blocked, and the walls of Jericho gets applied again. Ishii rolls out onto his back. There's these elbow strikes from Jericho and turns him into, this time, the Lion Tamer. He's crunching that knee down on the head, yanking back, and Ishii taps.
Damn, and what a main event match. Yeah, this was awesome. This blew the expectations out of the water for me. I've been saying Jericho's on this great run this year, and this again kind of proved that to me. Ishii hasn't had the best year. I'm still recovering from his match against Evil and that stink. And this was good. This was Ishii's best showing in AEW by far, by a mile. The match with Adam Cole was okay, but didn't get to the next level. This got, I think, even adding the funny chop battle through P&P makes it even something a bit more special. But this was fantastic, man. Jericho and Ishii are vets of the game, and here they are, just went out and killed each other. Jericho looked like he was having the time of his life, and no interference, no Jericho Appreciation Society.
Second time in a row, I think, where Jericho's just won clean.
Yeah, he won clean, so he's going off that he's the Ring of Honor, the wrestling champion.
Yeah, I thought this was excellent. I love Ishii's style, and his year hasn't been. I think it was, obviously there was the Wrestle Kingdom stink, but the format of the G1 this year, with having more people in the 4 groups, it meant there were less matches. So Ishii didn't have as many opportunities to have that 9 G1 matches where you're putting banger after banger. I think it was 5 or something. So you missed out on that kind of epic G1 run from Ishii. And I get the feeling with Jericho, he's just doing bucket list stuff. Anything that's hot, I want to. Last year, it's all right, I'll face Nick Gage. He seems hot at the moment.
Yeah.
Ishii, he's someone that everyone goes on about and has good matches with. I want an Ishii match. I want a Suzuki match. I love it, and I think he's you can make an argument for Jericho being one of the wrestlers of the year.
I would, man.
He's putting on really top quality stuff.
Yeah.
And this felt like I got a proper Ishii match.
I did. This is what I mean. I finally got a proper Ishii match in AEW. Not slighting the other ones, but this one definitely hit. And I'm so happy it was Jericho. I do think he's had he has been my favorite wrestler. Definitely when I was a kid, got into wrestling. And I just think this year has been awesome for him. And it feels like it's been so long, because some of the Jericho Appreciation stuff with the BCC has dragged and not been good. But then you just look at some of these TV matches that he's had, and they have been fantastic. And then Anarchy in the Arena thing, which was also pretty groundbreaking wrestling, fun wrestling stuff. So he's just had his hands on everything this year and proving that he's one of the GOATs, honestly. I love this, but Ishii, we fucking love Ishii, and I just thought they brought it. The chemistry was great. Dare I say, run this fucking match back at Wrestle Kingdom. Do it. Add it. Ishii needs something to do. Jericho needs something to do. Why not? Book it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the rest of the card is for that. Because it's just one night this year.
Exactly. Well. So yeah, but man, I really loved this match. Jericho was split open. I thought a fucking alien xenomorph was going to shoot out of his chest during this thing. I've never we've seen it get red this year because he's been getting chopped a lot, but to bleed,
Yeah,
like to be busted
I haven't
open.
seen this
That's
much.
amazing.
Yeah.
Like he was bleeding, and that's badass. This episode.
Well,
oh,
after
sorry.
the match,
Oh, yeah.
Jericho goes to the top, and he's gonna he's still trying to beat up Riccaboni. So he goes over to attack Riccaboni when Claudio comes out with a right hand, nailing Jericho. And I assume that's the final battle match.
Yes. So I imagine Ring of Honor title on the line, Jericho versus Claudio.
Final battle.
Yeah, final battle. So yeah, and then they go off the air with that. So a pretty interesting episode of Dynamite. There was some really good wrestling. Loved that main event. Loved the 6-man tag. And then you had, of course, like the Elite stuff with the whole Punk teases. And then you had the Regal stuff with Mox. This whole episode felt like a kind of new, fresh start into the next kind of chapter of this year. So I really enjoyed it. It wasn't my favorite episode, but it definitely had stuff that keeps me flowing and keeps me really intrigued on where the next couple of months go for AEW.
It had 2 great matches and a great in-ring segment, and I think that's enough for a show. And nothing else stunk. Like I enjoyed Paige and Starks for what it was. I enjoyed the 6 women for what it was. But 2 like really top quality matches, and I really dug the opening as well.
Yeah, solid stuff, and I'm happy that like going forward, the Punk stuff was kind of a downer as a fan. I mean, this guy comes in being this like white knight leading the charge, and then kind of seems like he's pissing all over it. And I know there's like
false prophets.
Yeah, false prophets for sure, man. It definitely is that vibe. And I'm not saying like he shouldn't come back, but I think he could right some wrongs and turn it into money and entertainment for us fans. So I'm hoping it's that way. But for now, I'll enjoy the Elite guys being funny and joking on Punk's name at his expense. But yeah, fun episode of Dynamite, and we'll see where they go in the next little while. But I'm excited to hear from MJF next week too. I'm sure he'll cut an all-timer.
What was this email? What was the email?
Right, it's the email like he sent Regal all these years ago, right? In that promo. So yeah, good stuff. And that was Dynamite. That was BDElite. Thanks for listening to us talk about Dynamite and chopping it up. We hope you enjoy hanging out with us wherever you may be. You could be in your car, you could be in your shower, in bed, you could be watching us on YouTube. We appreciate it. And all the likes, retweets, subscribes, all that stuff. We appreciate you guys. We will be back doing this next Wednesday night for one last BDElite before we kick off our new chapter,
our new era,
going into the future. So join us next Wednesday for BDElite. We will be going live Tuesday night as well for Up Next after NXT. So follow the Twitch and YouTubes and all that stuff. And patreon.com/upnext. It's only $5, guys, to hear all the podcasts that we do. Retro pay-per-view reviews, NXT reviews, movie reviews. It's all up there in the back catalog. The RSS feed goes right into your phone. It's like nothing. And you get access to us talking your ear off. So yeah. Thanks.
Do?
That's it.
Do it.
That's
Sign
all.
up.
Thank you guys so much. Up Next podcast on Twitter. I myself, Braden Herrington, on Twitter, Instagram, at the Brady.
And you can find me at Davie Portman.
That's it. That's all. Take care. Goodbye. Be safe. And shout out Lil Bow Wow.
Ahoy!
First time in a long time, but it seems like just yesterday when we were side by side. Beast mode, no one's blocking our way. These other guys tried it, but them man ain't got the skills of Braden and Davie, brazen and raging, bringing you the thrills and spills. Right here in full gear, about to blow up like TNT. Us man are too sweet, Brady, DVP, the BDElite. Right here in full gear, about to blow up like TNT. Us man are too sweet, Brady, DVP, the BDElite.